Browns break silence on Shedeur Sanders' mysterious role and what it says about their long-term plan. The Cleveland Browns entered the 2025 season with one of the most fascinating quarterback rooms in the NFL. A mix of age, promise, and controversy. Veteran Joe Flacco, now 40 years old, was brought in to stabilize the position and provide a veteran presence for a team desperate to climb back into contention. Behind him sit two rookies, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, each representing the future, but also the present dilemma of player development in the modern NFL. For most teams, a rookie quarterback taken in the top 100 picks is given plenty of reps to speed up the learning curve. But in Cleveland, questions are surfacing about whether Shedeur, son of Hall of Famer Deion coach Prime Sanders, and one of the most polarizing prospects in the 2025 NFL Draft, is getting the developmental attention he needs. Rumors ignite the debate. Why is he even here? The conversation took center stage when Tony Rizzo of ESPN Cleveland shared a rumor that sent Browns fans into a frenzy. "I'm hearing that Shedeur is not even running the scout team," Rizzo said on air. "He's watching everyone. Bailey Zapp is running the scout team. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I'm hearing. Why is he on the team? Why is he even here? Because his jersey is selling? The Haslams don't need jersey money, do they?" It was the kind of blunt question that instantly trends on Cleveland sports radio. If Sanders isn't practicing, is he really progressing? And if he isn't progressing, is the team mishandling a premium investment? The optics aren't great. Shedeur arrived in Cleveland with the kind of celebrity rarely seen for a rookie QB3 in millions of social media followers, a massive nil brand that followed him from college, and the ever-present aura of being Coach Prime's son. Fans expected excitement. Instead, they're getting sideline sightings. Bill Musgrave steps up. All three guys have taken their turns. Fortunately for Browns fans, quarterbacks coach Bill Musgrave addressed the situation directly, clarifying that Sanders is not simply a spectator. "At times the concepts resemble what we would run here with the Browns, and at times it's completely foreign," Musgrave explained. "But the fact that they're out there and having to make decisions and process and then deliver throws accurately, all that is really good." Musgrave insisted that Sanders, Bailey Zapp, and Dillon Gabriel have all taken their turns running scout team reps, a rotation that may be unorthodox but is part of Cleveland's plan to keep everyone sharp. "I'd say it's a little bit different and it's exciting because those guys do take pride in getting the defense ready," Musgrave said. "They want to do a good job of replicating the opponent's offense, and at the same time, they want to try to relate any play that they get to our game plan for that week, too, so they can feel like they can get a little double duty there." A different approach and why it matters. Musgrave admitted this isn't the typical arrangement. Most NFL teams have a clear scout team pecking order, with the QB3 taking the bulk of those reps to stay active. But Cleveland has chosen to rotate responsibilities among all three reserve quarterbacks. This serves two purposes. It keeps everyone engaged. No one feels like a forgotten man. It gives the defense a variety of looks, since each quarterback has a slightly different throwing style and approach. For Sanders, this means fewer total reps than fans might like, but it also means every rep is intentional. He is being asked to not only execute plays but process and translate what he's seeing into Cleveland's own offensive philosophy. Joe Flacco's steady hand buys time. One reason the Browns can afford to take their time with Sanders is the play of their starter. Despite throwing 2 interceptions in the opener, Flacco looked poised and in control, and both picks came off dropped passes rather than bad reads. Flacco's ability to manage games gives Cleveland a margin of patience. The coaching staff does not need to rush either rookie into action. Instead, they can let Sanders and Gabriel focus on mental reps, mechanics, and gradual acclimation to NFL speed. Shedeur Sanders' reality check. Learning to wait. For Shedeur, this is the first time in his life that he has not been the guy. At Colorado, he was the centerpiece of the offense, taking every meaningful snap and serving as the face of the program. Now, he is in street clothes on Sundays unless disaster strikes. Musgrave acknowledged that this is a psychological adjustment as much as a football one. Neither of these guys have ever not been the guy, And that happens a lot with guys who enter the NFL, Musgrave said. They've been the starters their whole lives. And so, there's a transition there. This transition is where Shedeur's maturity will be tested. Can he stay locked in, keep learning, and resist the urge to press for playing time before he's ready? So far, the Browns believe the answer is yes. Mentorship from Tyler Huntley. One of the more intriguing elements of Shedeur's rookie journey is his connection with now Ravens quarterback Tyler Huntley, who spent the preseason with Cleveland before signing in Baltimore. The fact that Huntley is here, I feel like God sent him here for a reason, Sanders said in August. Being in that backup role, he faced that also in his career, and he just gave me the mentality on what I need to do and how I need to stay on top of everything. Huntley's experience as a career backup to Lamar Jackson has given Sanders a blueprint for how to thrive in a role that demands preparation without promise of playing time. The bigger picture, a team still building. The Browns are still a work in progress, not just at quarterback but across the roster. They enter Week 2 as 12.5-point underdogs against the Baltimore Ravens, a sign of how far they still have to climb to be considered contenders. But if Flacco stays healthy, Cleveland can afford to keep its young QBs in development mode for now. NFL business lesson. The DK Metcalf trade parallel. The conversation around Shedeur's development dovetails nicely with another major NFL storyline, the trade that sent DK Metcalf from Seattle to Pittsburgh. Seattle had a decision to make: pay Metcalf massive money going into his prime or trade him and retool. They chose the latter, netting a second-round pick that became part of a package to land South Carolina safety Nick Emenwari. Metcalf, meanwhile, landed with the Steelers and signed a 5-year, $150 million contract with $60 million guaranteed, making him one of the highest-paid receivers in NFL history. This trade is a reminder that every move in the NFL is about balancing short-term production with long-term vision. Just as Seattle was willing to part ways with a star to secure future assets, the Browns are willing to endure short-term criticism to develop Shedeur the right way. Patience now, payoff later. Cleveland's approach might not be popular on talk radio, but it is methodical. They are protecting Sanders from being thrown into the fire too soon, allowing him to build confidence and learn from Flacco's routine. If all goes well, this patience will pay off in 2026 or beyond, when Sanders is ready to compete for the starting job. Final word: trust the process. Fans often crave instant gratification, but quarterback development is rarely instant. Shedeur Sanders may not be making headlines for highlight plays right now, but the Browns insist he is progressing exactly as they hoped. The challenge for Sanders will be to embrace the season as a foundation-building year, one where he grows as a professional, masters the playbook, and prepares for the day when Cleveland finally calls his number. If the Browns are right, Shedeur's quiet rookie year will be remembered not as a wasted season but as the start of something much bigger.